It's France and Ireland fighting out the title. What do you personally and as a squad want to achieve from this final weekend?
A win, of course. Third is the highest place I believe we can finish, depending on other results. So we have mentioned it that, obviously it'd been really, really nice to be able to play for a championship or a Grand Slam on the final weekend. But, third place certainly is the highest we can finish, and we want to go out with our best performance of the campaign.
And as far as personalities are concerned, a big occasion for Dan Biggar and for Alan Wynne-Jones. It'd be nice for them to have their landmarks marked suitably, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. They've both hit incredible milestones this weekend. Thoroughly deserved, the pair of them. Both terrific players, leaders for us as a team. And, it's extra nice that they get to have these milestones at home as well, in front of their family and friends. And it's important, I think, that we put on a performance, the best performance that we can put out of this campaign, and to celebrate both these players' incredible milestones with a victory as well.
And you might get a little bit of a helping hand from the weather for a change. Last time out, it was a bit grim against France. Now sun's out, chance to play.
Yeah, I know. It's strange, isn't it? Like, we've had some miserable days. We've had some dry patches, some wet patches. Obviously, we've got a roof on our stadium. So, home games, usually we get the roof closed, so we're always dry. But unfortunately, I think that's due to some sort of COVID regulations. We've got to keep it open. But yeah, as you said, the weather's looking good. And yeah, fingers crossed that we can put on a display on Saturday afternoon.
What do you make of the Italian lineup at the moment? Obviously, as a team, their confidence must be low after 36 defeats, but a few lively individuals in that back three, like Capuozzo, the new boy, and Montejoani.
Absolutely. It's tough, obviously. I can't really speak for them, how they're feeling, but you can never underestimate the Italians. They're a really passionate group of players. And, over this campaign, they've tended to start very well as well. They've been in the arm wrestle for long periods of the game. And I think just towards the back end of games, maybe they've just slipped off a little bit. But like you said, they've got some very, very talented individuals in the back three, especially. They're very threatening players there. And, that's something that us as back three have got to manage, and we'll do our best to do that.
And it's, 18 months or so until the World Cup in France. How much is that playing a part in thinking at the moment that players want to make sure they're there and the management want to develop a squad towards the World Cup?
I'm sure they do, yeah. I'm sure that is in their minds in some way, thinking of combinations, players playing in different positions, as I've done. Other, maybe some back row players playing a lot across the back row as well. So yeah, I'm sure it's in their thinking. As players, we're all desperate to be involved in that World Cup. As you said, 18 months goes by in a blink of an eye, doesn't it? We all know that, and how quick things come around. So yeah, before you know it, we'll the lucky few will be in France representing Wales at a World Cup, and every single one of us, every performance really is a sort of stepping stone into getting in that squad to go.
Thanks, Josh. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Simon?
Hiya, Josh. How are you, mate?
Hiya, you all right?
Yeah, good. Just looking at your tournament personally, I mean, you started the one game centre, moved to centre another, went out through injury, try against England. So it's been kind of staccato and chop and changing and absent. How do you reflect upon it yourself? Have you learned things?
Yeah, no, I certainly have. Yeah, definitely learned things. I learn things. I learn most. I do learn a lot from each campaign. Sorry. This one especially, having the time in the midfield, I think moving in there during games is good as well, you know, towards maybe the last 20 minutes or so, like I have been doing. And yeah, look, I felt it's been a bit stop-start. That little niggle I picked up a week before Scotland was quite frustrating for me. I was frustrated that week leading into that game because off the back of the Ireland game, it was a great chance for us as a team to sort of right some wrongs, if you like, and put a performance in against Scotland, and the boys did terrifically well to get the win. So I was frustrated that week, and you know, I was back in then, as you said, against England, picked up a try. Second half performance from us was brilliant, but you know, the game's played over 2 hours and 80 minutes, so you know, it doesn't really matter what your second half performance is like if you've lost, if that makes any sense. And France again, so close. I honestly thought we were the better team that game, controlled majority of the ball. Game plan worked really well, and we just couldn't finish off the chances. We had 2 or 3 chances that in the past we might have taken, and we just weren't quite able to take these opportunities. And to be the best and to beat the best, you've got to be able to do that. So I think, yeah, there's a lot of learnings from us.
I guess it's a balancing act, Josh, because being able to play 2 positions makes you all the more valuable to a squad. Yeah, I know some players in the past have preferred just to focus on the one position. How do you reflect and sum up the pluses and minuses of your ability to play there, which in a way means you're not playing where you were the best try scorer in the World Cup?
Yeah, well, as you said, it you know, being able to play multiple positions does help in these in situations like, you know, touring squads, World Cups and things. You're a player that can cover multiple positions, and that is certainly a benefit. I think learning new things, new experiences, getting put under pressure in a different position as well certainly helps you grow as a player. You know, I've had a game of 13 against Toulouse as well. Learned a lot from that. Learned even more then from stepping up into international level, playing against a wonderful attacking team like Ireland as well, and how good they've been playing. So I think it's valuable. I think most players will experience this at some point where they are asked to play in maybe an unfamiliar position. And I think it's certainly valuable for us as players to learn things in different positions.
Cheers, Josh. Thanks for your time again. All the best weekend.
Thanks, mate.
Beth? Hey, Josh. Hope you're well. Obviously, Wales's form is always under scrutiny, whatever you do, but it's quite interesting. For the 2019 World Cup cycle, 2 years before that, Wales were 5th in the Six Nations. You lost to New Zealand, scraped by Georgia. Obviously, this time around as well, there's been kind of, you know, at the beginning of the Six Nations, you know, talks of you getting the wooden spoon. Last week, you were going to win the whole thing. So I just want to know, in your opinion, and I can't believe you've only had 4 Six Nations, but your kind of feeling on where Wales are going and where you are now.
Yeah, look, I think it's been frustrating. I think we've been great in patches, disappointed in other patches. It's been a bit hot and cold, I'd say. But I think we're all learning. And from my point of view and the players' point of view, we've gotten a lot better where we are now than where we were when we came in. And the most important thing is, whether you win or lose, that we're always improving. You're always trying to get better in some way. I certainly think we've done that. And, you know, I'd like to think it's been quite clear, like visible for everybody to see that where we've come from game 1 now heading into game 5. I think there's a clear improvement in us as a squad. And that's the most important thing, really, is that we just keep on proving, keep on chipping away, and make sure that, well, in 18 months' time, we're in the best possible place.
Well, we won't tell Gethin Jenkins this because he hates me talking about running rugby, but how much are you enjoying that side of it when Wales do that really well? We've seen glimpses of that as well in the last few games.
Yes, it's enjoyable for me. Of course it is. You know, that's sort of the way that I love to play the game. As most of us backs do, you know, we all want to get the ball in our hands. We all want to be put in space with the ball, and to be able to play expansive rugby. But, you know, certain game plans, certain teams dictates sometimes the way we have to go about things. It's all well and good saying you want to run the ball and play this really attractive style of rugby, but you've got to be able to do the hard nuts and bolts bits first and build your way into a game, put some pressure on the opposition, and then things will sort of open up for you and you can sort of play a bit more expansive rugby. But, as most teams have shown, I think Ireland probably lead the way in terms of attacking flair at the minute. I think, it's been clear to see that they've been really, really well. They've played exceptionally well with ball in hand this campaign, and that's we have our own identity. We're not Ireland. We have our own way of playing, but we just need to make sure that we're all on the same page and we can connect well as a team when we do have the ball.
Just two quick questions about off the field stuff, if you don't mind. Obviously, your kind of counterpart, colleague, teammate Louis Rees-Zammit is growing up in the eyes of the world. It doesn't help that he's probably too good looking to play on the wing as well. But on a serious note, you've grown up into the spotlight. How hard is it for a young man to kind of discover who he is, but also play rugby and play rugby like he does as well?
I think we all deal with things in different ways. We all react to disappointment in different ways. I think his reaction from not being selected for the England game has been terrific. He went back to his club in Gloucester, scored a wonderful try. He came off the bench there. I think he'd done everything I was asked of him. And he came on against France and he made an impact. And that's what we want. He made a great impact. He had a couple of really nice touches. He looked dangerous, which was really important. And I said at the beginning of the campaign, he's a massive weapon for us. So like you said, he's a young kid, certainly learning. And me personally, and I know all the other boys, we're all behind him, and we all want the best of him from him, because he's going to be a huge player for Wales for many, many years, because I think he's only 21, which is crazy. So, he's going to be a massive part of this squad for a number of years.
I shouldn't say he's good looking, I'm afraid. I'm old enough to be his mother, so let's try and erase that. Last question for me, very, very quickly. We've spoken before about COVID bubbles. This year was way more relaxed for you and the team. How has that felt? Because I know you've got a young family as well. Has that helped your on-field performance as well?
I think it's helped with us being a lot more maybe focused coming back into things. I think getting that extra bit of time at home with your family, boys with young children, etc. It does take your mind off it, whether you've had a great day or a bad day on the weekend or in training. The only thing that really matters is being a dad, being a husband, being a boyfriend when you go back home, and you don't really worry about what happened on the weekend or what the result was. It's more about spending time with your family. So when you get them days at home, I think it does refresh you, certainly for me anyway. And, it does refill the tank, if you like, ready for when you come back in and you're ready to hit the ground running.
Teletubbies will do that to you. But listen, thanks very much. And
Coco Melon.
Coco Melon, don't even get me started. My nephew, I'm Ra the Lion. Anyway, we could go on. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thanks. And then we'll finish the English questions with Alex and then move to Lowry.
Hi, Josh. Last year, you guys scored 20 tries. Would it be fair to say you sort of haven't hit those heights in attack this time? And just how frustrating has that been for obviously a player like yourself?
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I can agree with that. 20 tries is pretty impressive, actually, isn't it? In the Six Nations campaign, that's very, very good. So, yes, obviously clear to see that we haven't been as ruthless in attack this year. There's a lot of sort of nuts and bolts around it that you can say why. Probably time without the ball. Time without the ball. We've defended for long periods of time in games. Mix and match in combinations. Trying new things as well. But ultimately, it falls on us. We understand what's asked of us in the week from the coach's point of view, and we've got the responsibility to deliver that as best as we can on a match day. And like I said, for whatever reasons, it hasn't quite been there. I'd like to think that in patches we've been really good. We've put teams under a lot of pressure. We've created some clear-cut chances as well, which everyone was probably thinking, how didn't they score that? Or there was one pass away. And these are the frustrating things for us when we look at it back. We know how close we are. And I'd like to think that come tomorrow, that we'll be able to put our best attacking display together.
In the last sort of 18 months, there's been a lot of injuries, which obviously means the team has to change, but there's also been a lot of selection change as well. As someone who plays in the back line, that sort of continuity is key. Do you think that's played a part in the fact that you maybe haven't quite clicked?
Potentially. It could have been. We do spend, I'd say a lot, but we spend a considerable amount of time together on the training field. You maybe look at someone like, again, refer back to Ireland, their continuity in the midfield and things, how their attack flourishes could be a factor as well with that. And that's why they're probably playing as well as they are. But like you said, injuries play a part. Building towards the World Cup was probably in the thinking of boys playing in different positions, new combinations. So, yeah, that could be a factor, don't get me wrong, but I still think we could have been a lot more ruthless with the ball this campaign.
And just lastly, for me, you talked about Alan Wynne and Dan's, milestones tomorrow. Just how big are these senior guys? They've been important parts of this team, guiding the team for a long time now. But with the next World Cup in mind, they're still as important as ever, aren't they?
Absolutely, yeah, 100% they are. I've just said they're both huge characters, huge leaders for us. They're the ones to calm us down when things are not going great. They're the ones that are driving the standards, leading from the front, and it's up to us as the rest of a squad really to follow them, because they are the sort of the benchmark setters, if you like, the pair of them, and it's they're massively important part of this squad, and I'm sure they will be massive going forward, especially to the World Cup. Yeah.
And just quickly, as fellow players, are you doing anything special to mark it for the two guys?
I don't think so. They'll have their own little cap ceremonies presented to them, and the rituals that go with being presented with your first 50th, 100th, or in Al's case, 150th cap. So we just want to win well and put on a good performance for them. I think the pair of them would be happy with that.
Great, thanks for your time.
No problem.
Okay, and finally, Lowry, we've got time for